Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We continue for your listening pleasure and also to hopefully make the world a little bit better place. This is how do you know if you're being a less than supportive friend? The first thing that we can look at there. And if you want to become a more supportive friend, it can be really pretty simple to do. There's just a few habits that you got to alter a little bit. And the willingness to alter these habits can directly have an impact on the quality of friend you are now and into the future. So if you're looking for that in 2022 and beyond, would love to be of value to you in that way. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will get you in touch with me or a member of my team. We can make something happen from there. Now, the first thing to look at is the quality of the amount of support you give to the success that other people in your life are having. Look, we all want to be more successful. We all are struggling to find our place in the world or can be struggling to find our place in the world, but the willingness to celebrate others even when we're not where we want to be is a value of a good friend. Now, obviously, jealousy and envy and regret over chances not taken or opportunities not yet received can motivate a person to be a little less supportive than they normally would be under average circumstances. However, you've got to cut down on that if you want your relationship to be valuable for the future in terms of people feeling supported and positively impacted in a meaningful and masterful way. And so when we begin to understand the value of doing that continually, and we begin to understand the value of doing that in a consistent and meaningful manner, we then also begin to know the potential of connecting on a deeper level with the nature at which we continue to do things and say things, and ultimately, when we begin to know how to kind of avoid gossiping and or avoid enabling other people to do things that aren't healthy and then let resentment grow. A lot of times we enable people because we expect them to change, but truthfully, people change for two core reasons. They either want something better for their life, that is, they believe they will get more pleasure from changing, or they want to avoid pain. Pleasure, pain, fulcrum is the reason people change. People don't change because of another person's opinion directly. They believe they're going to gain something through making the change themselves. And so if you're enabling somebody with the thought that at the end they will change because of you, most of the time, the majority of the time, you're ultimately going to be disappointed. Next thing is, if you don't apologize when you're out of bounds, incorrect, or in some way hurtful, you don't have to necessarily agree that you were any of these things, but if someone says that you are, a heartfelt apology can go a very long way in trying to show that you are committed to fixing the relationship and making things better just for the benefit of the relationship itself. When you are unwilling to do these things, ultimately you are able to do less in terms of getting your life in good order. When you're able, however, to realize that saying you're sorry and genuinely meaning it for the benefit of the relationship is something you're willing to do, you will then kind of wander into the rarefied air of being a really good friend because you are making the friendship more important than your own individual needs or wants, what have you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to over apologize for everything, and finding the balance between over apologizing and genuine sincerity can be difficult for some people, especially people who never learned these things well, or people that have been manipulated into over apologizing in the past. The next thing to look at is the potential of kind of not being dismissive of other people's opinions, viewpoints, or things that matter to them, even if it's not something you're passionate about, even if it's not something that you care about greatly. The willingness not to dismiss another person's viewpoint is an essential part of keeping relationships healthy and going in a positive direction on a continual basis. When we begin to understand the value of doing exactly that, we also then begin to know that doing that is something that we begin to need to do in order to make decisions in a long-term healthy way. And sometimes if we haven't learned how to do that, or we are unwilling to give of our time, give of our energy, give of our thoughts, give of our ideas it can be extremely difficult for people to think that we're on their side continually. And obviously, being on someone's side is an important part of having that built relationship. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.